A global crisis, the likes of which this country has never seen, dealt a devastating blow to our economy, and more so the vital tourism industry, an employer of thousands of our people. Prior to the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, Antigua and Barbuda was on the threshold of a record-breaking season in tourism arrivals. But tragedy struck as the world was brought to its knees by the unprecedented health crisis. Vulnerable countries like ours buckled under the tremendous pressure.
At this point in time, vis-a-vis 2019, we projected at the beginning of 2022 to recover at a rate of about 75%. And that was even before the war in the Ukraine. That was even before the pound fell to its lowest level in decades. Now, I'm pleased to say, as of the end of October, we are at about 90%. January to October 2020 versus the figure January to October 2022 versus 2019. We're up at about 90%. So we're doing even better than we projected, and that's a positive thing. As a matter of fact, last Saturday saw a record number of passengers coming into BC Bird Airport. We had about 1,600 persons come in on one day. That's a record.
Reopening the tourism sector brought relief to many persons whose livelihoods depended on the income they gained from the industry. It also won the praise and admiration of other countries in the region who took Antigua and Barbuda's lead. It was indeed a heroic effort.
I don't think any other government, and if you look around the Caribbean, as I said, we were the first to open. We were the first to open and open safely. We were the best in terms of recovery, right through the region per capita. So as a matter of fact, I was even awarded Tourism Minister of the Year for the Caribbean. CTO awarded that, and that was because of how we were able to rebound so quickly, so safely in 2020. So yes, again, the cabinet was very steadfast, led by the Prime Minister, and bearing in mind that we didn't have the kind of wiggle room that a number of other economies would have had. We are very dependent on tourism. So there was a lot riding on us reopening and reopening safely, because if we had reopened and we had a problem or an issue with a contagion through tourism, the whole country would have been in an uproar, and we rightly so. So we had to ensure that we opened and we reopened safely.
The cruise sector was among the hardest hit during the pandemic. Store owners, vendors, tour operators, and taxi drivers were left wringing their hands as ports remained empty for months. In Global Ports Holding, the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party administration found a trusted and winning partner as it stayed the course with the government through an extremely trying period. It's a far cry from what the opposition expected, as months before it was vehement in its hue and cry against the government entering into an agreement with the respected cruise port operator. Well, one brand new port later that can host the largest cruise ships in the world, the government was once again proven spot on with its investment priorities. The reason for the opposition's protests were eventually revealed as Minister Fernandez recalls a near encounter with an agreement under the previous government that would have landed a crucial sector of the economy in serious trouble.
GPH, Global Ports Holding, have proven to be an exceptional partner. And as you would have known, again, Antigua and Barbuda took the lead in terms of partnering with them. Since that has happened, they signed with the Bahamas, they signed with St. Lucia, they're in discussions with St. Kitts, they're about to sign, if I'm not mistaken, with San Juan. So it tells you again that we have been on the right track, irrespective of what the naysayers would say. I know they even picketed my office. The former government signed with a Pakistani gentleman who had no experience whatsoever in managing ports, no experience in terms of the cruise industry, and they were able to sign a memorandum of understanding. Even though it wasn't binding, it shows you how they were thinking. They were signing off both ports, both cargo and cruise, to this gentleman who has had no track record at all. And in the agreement, he would be able to use both ports as a security for loans. Juxtaposition that with global ports that brought the money in for to do the development that they're going to be doing, and paid off the loan at ACB that we couldn't pay for years, and allowed for us to start to get head tax net for us, plus the environment levy, which we have been getting. All of these things we never got, we now getting.
Barbuda, thanks to the firm resolve of the government to see the economy grow, is emerging to meet its brightest potential. And with the resurgence of the tourism industry, the sister island is becoming the destination's brightest spot, creating unforeseen opportunities for residents. The Antigua and Barbuda economy has done an about-face in a very short space of time. The crippling effects of a pandemic have been overcome, and the future that the government is working to create for its people seems not only bright but quite near.
The Barbudans themselves now, as in Antigua, a number of persons are now pushing to do Airbnb properties, which is something that is really important, because this means more Antiguans are getting involved right at the top of the food chain in terms of tourism. And that's something we're very proud about. In terms of Barbuda, as I said, Barbuda is unique. So you have the very high-end properties, which means you're going to have that possibility of high-income tourists coming in there. The properties are, from what I can see, low density. So the environment has been will be taken into account. As you know, PLH is also now put in place to start a reef building project for Barbuda, which is important. And in addition to that, Barbudans themselves are coming forward now. Some of them are buying buses, applying to buy buses. Some of them are adding Airbnb properties. And the fact that the government is allowing Barbudans to own their own piece of the rock means they can take that title deed to the bank after paying, I think it's $1 for it. Take that title deed to the bank and use it as security to do an investment. So again, these are opportunities that are opening up for Barbuda.